First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing His truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. In this particular video, we're going to talk about pestilence. What prompted me to make this video is GMS Awakening 144 Ha Amun Gabar, I believe his YouTube name is. He posted, 2 pictures talking about this, zombie fungus, fungal pandemic, and turn humans into zombies. And the other post that he made was talking about this same topic, but it had the new show right now that's on Netflix called The Last of Us. I suggest brothers watch it. Esau put some LGBTQ shit up in there. He did, but, just chew the meat and spit out the bones. Also, that same Last of Us had a game for brothers, who on their downtime played, PlayStation or whatever. There was a game called, the same show, Last of Us. And it's about a fungal pandemic. How the fungal pandemic started with these spores or fungus that's released into the bread supply and the rice and things like that. And they eat enough of it and boom, the pandemic happened. And that's not too far-fetched. If you believe that the pestilence that the Lord spoke about was just Crown Vic Royale and that's it. Nah, I believe you're sadly mistaken. I believe the Lord has a lot more that He's going to release on the earth. All right? Esau is cooking up something. As we speak, Bill Gates talked about the next pandemic is going to be worse. All right? And this might be it. This might be it. Now, that's neither here nor there, but it's something to keep your eye on. All right? Because the Lord did speak about pestilence. All right? Let's define pestilence. A fatal pandemic. It's like a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. All right? You see that? A disease. Right? A plague. That's what it is, man. Let's get Luke 21:11. Start at 10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences. Don't forget pestilences. Yes, nukes are going to drop, famine, martial law, so forth and so on. Don't forget pestilence. The Lord is going to kill a lot of 2/3 with pestilence. A lot of these heathens are going to get smoked by plague, pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be there from heaven. All right. Same thing in Matthew 24:6-7. As a matter of fact, we'll just get that. Basically says the same thing. And ye shall hear, all right, Matthew 24:6, and we read, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So there goes that pestilence again. All right. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So, but there goes that pestilence again, the plague. And once again, I'm going to say, if you believe that the Crown Vic Royale is the only thing, that's it. Well, we beat, prophecy came to pass on the pestilence already. Like, no, I believe that's not it. Other things is going to come down that pipeline, man. It's going to get terrible. Jacob's trouble was a time like no other time. It's going to be worse than slavery. It's going to be worse than all the other pandemics that ever hit Earth. It's going to be worse than all the other massacres that hit Earth. This time is going to be like no other time. All right? Do your histories, do your research on times that happened, times where bad things happened, man. And then think Jacob's trouble is worse than that. Understand that. Anyway, Let's play this.
The COVID-19 pandemic shook the world and brought nations to their knees. The virus took away lots of lives and continues to loom over us. But did you know there could be another contender waiting in line, a dangerous contender known as the zombie fungus, a fungus that hacks the brain and could potentially turn one into a zombie? It might sound like a work of fiction, but in the kingdom of fungus, the organisms range from edible mushrooms to nightmare-fueled parasites. The species of parasitic cordyceps are very real and are capable of creating zombified ants and other small insects. People are questioning whether the fungus could make a leap from preying on small insects to infecting humans. The resulting fungi pandemic could lead to the collapse of societies. So let's see how the zombie fungus eliminates its victims. Cordyceps break the host insect's soft tissues and grows long stems outside the victim's body. The fungus essentially feeds on the brain of the victim. Spores enter the insect's body, which helps the fungus protect itself and reproduce. Questions of a probable zombie fungus apocalypse rises from a famous Netflix series, The Last of Us, in which a fungus turns humans into zombies. In scenes more disturbing than the scariest horror film, tendrils of death erupting from people's heads and fungus spores giving birth to zombies has viewers hooked to the show. But now a reality check. Is a zombie fungi apocalypse possible? The World Health Organization has identified 19 different threatening fungi, but cordyceps do not feature on that list. Experts say that the fungus could create zombified insects, but the same happening to humans is not possible in the near future. Doctors have proven that human body temperature is too high for most fungi to settle or even grow. Insects have a simpler nervous system than ours.
You know what's funny when I'm hearing this? If you watch Last of Us, they basically say everything that this guy is saying. But the guy in the scene in the beginning, the guy is like, well, because you got one guy that's like, but that can't be because this and that. And one guy saying exactly what he's saying. But he said, what if it mutates though? It's one mutation away, or a small mutation away of just can be Slakia. One mutation away to jump into us and using us as its host, basically. Slakia, I'm stumbling over my words. But it's funny, that everything that's being said right here is said on the show and basically explained in the game as well. Like, yeah, well, they can't use us as the host because our body temperature is like 90 something degrees. It can't. But if it mutates, and if you know Esau, he likes to mutate shit. It's a wrap.
Which makes it easier to infect their brain. Although the zombie fungi cannot infect us right now, the Hospital for Tropical Diseases in London warns that we are unprepared for dealing with a fungal pandemic if and when the time comes. Well, the good news is humankind does not have a zombie fate in the books, but climate change and the COVID pandemic is slowly changing our planet, which is slowly altering the environment and our bodies. So the question is, will the zombie fungus also mutate and evolve?
You see that? I didn't even know he was going to say it. It's my first time watching the whole thing, But yeah, it could mutate and evolve. All right. And now all of a sudden, it can withstand temperatures up to 150 degrees or some shit like that. And then boom, an outbreak. It's in the food supply. Then it gets to a point where now these mushrooms, this fungus can grow outside. And not just grow outside, it releases spores now. And if you breathe in too many of these spores, you just get it. It's airborne. You know what I'm saying? Esau, man, all this can be down the pipeline, man. But that's neither here nor there. This is just something to keep your eye on. these are all things that, was within the game and the show. So just something to keep your eye on. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.